From being brutally massacred to being stomped to death. These are the scariest bull riding moments you'll ever see. At number 10, Gage Gay thought he had it. Corpus Red disagreed. One missed beat and Gay's head slammed into the horn before the bull ran him over like a truck with no brakes.
That got ugly and dangerous.
Still, as rough as that was, Guilherme Marchie didn't get it any easier at number 9. Stubby stopped his ride at 5.91 seconds, then stomped on him like the ride wasn't over. Marchie could deal with the buck off. The hooves, though, that was another story. Marchie may have gotten stomped, but at least he walked away. Because at number 8, Travis Brisco wasn't that lucky. I'm a Gangster's horn sent him flying so fast, the crowd barely had time to react. And yes, it looked bad. Then the medics came in, and it turned out worse. Fracture dislocation to his right ankle.
He gets popped.
Still, you can land wrong and bounce back. But when you get hung up like McKennon Wimberly did on Charlie Boulware at number 7, there's no bouncing.
Wimberly's got a chance on Charlie Boulware, and this is a big bull, and Wimberly touches at 3-0, and he's got to get out of there.
You see, he's got a hold of that bullpen trying to, well, no, now he's got the tail of the rope.
You know, he doesn't have a hold of it in the bullpen.
Now
Boy, that's a bad wreck.
He didn't even get a chance to brace himself. It was the kind of wreck that made the whole arena hold its breath.
He just grabbed the tail of his rope, you know, and McKinnon's I'll tell you what, it's hard to beat youth. That's a tough.
While Wimberly's hang-up left the crowd stunned, at number 6, Neil Holmes had his own nightmare with Ranga because he didn't just get hung up, he got stomped. The bull's hooves landed hard, and Holmes limped away with the kind of pain that sticks.
Somehow Neil Holmes popped up and is able to walk around, but Ty.
At number 5, we've got Ryan McConnell learning the hard way that even round 1 can wreck you. He was looking to ride Whitey, collect a check, and keep the momentum going at the 2012 PBR BFTS WinStar World Casino Invitational in Houston. But Whitey had other plans. A sudden jolt, a missed rhythm, and McConnell landed on his neck.
Once he gets turned around, I think we're going to see him excel.
And McConnell found himself slamming into the dirt with a concussion and no chance at the championship round. He later admitted that he underestimated the bull, a rookie mistake, except he wasn't a rookie. That's what made it sting even more. He knew better, but something about the moment made him loosen up when he should have locked in. Confidence turned into overconfidence, and overconfidence turned into a ride that barely lasted a few seconds. Whitey's a pretty strong bull. I got too overconfident. I did not expect that the intensity even for round 1 is very high. I'll surely take this lesson of not being too confident next time. There's something brutal about getting hurt before the real fight even starts. It's not like he lost in the championship round or was beaten at the buzzer. This was the opening act, but the truth is, in bull riding, there's no easing into anything. Even the first round can knock you flat and send you home with nothing but a headache and regret. Now, if that was scary, number 4 will take it to the next level as Renato Nunez faced a wreck that looked more like a demolition job. The bull was Rock River Red, and from the second the gate opened, it wasn't much of a ride. It was a beating. Nunez didn't stand a chance. The bull bucked wild, and right off the bat, Nunez took a hit to the face from one of the horns. then another straight into the bull's head. And if that wasn't enough, Rock River Red finished it by trampling him into the dirt.
Rock River Red attacked Renato Nunez like a tank going through a hedge.
It all happened fast, but you could tell how hard those hits landed. His body folded weird. I was not expecting that I'd get so much damage from this. I really felt that I was up against a giant tank with the sole purpose of destroying me. I was lucky I made it out alive. You could see it in his face. It was disbelief. Riders know what they're signing up for, but sometimes even the veterans get a rude reminder. It was 3 brutal collisions packed into a few seconds, and it nearly broke him. These bulls don't play fair, and Rock River Red made sure Nunez remembered that. That was definitely scary, but I think that's not as scary as Frank Newsome's experience at number 3 when he was hit hard by Play Harder. It wasn't exactly a surprise, considering how unpredictable that bull was. Everyone's eyes were on Bolton, waiting for the worst. Maybe a stomp, maybe a horn, but the wreck didn't go to him. It went to Frank Newsome. Frank was just doing his job. He stepped in like he always does, ready to protect the rider, but instead, he became the target. Play Harder turned, locked eyes, and slammed into him like a truck with no brakes.
That bull, he knew right where he came off. He did kind of come off in a bad spot, but Frank did a heck of a job of getting in there.
Frank stayed on the ground after he was hit. The guy's been through a lot, but this one was brutal. Chest, shoulder, head, everything took a shot. And maybe that's why this wreck stands out. Not because of the rider, but because the bull turned on the one person who was there to help. Frank Newsome wasn't even supposed to be part of the damage. But sometimes, these bulls don't follow the script. Although Frank Newsome's wreck was the kind that makes your heart stop, Ruben Barbosa's crash had a different kind of silence to it at number 2. He was just seconds away from making the full ride on Hell's Bells. Almost had it. But that bull wasn't letting him off easy. One last whip and Barbosa was airborne, then slammed straight into the dirt, neck first. You didn't need a doctor to know something was wrong, just lying there while the medics rushed in. It didn't take long before the stretcher came out. Later, the diagnosis confirmed it. Neck sprain. Sounds mild until you realize it's bull riding we're talking about. A neck sprain here could mean a few months off, or an early end. With this, I might take months before I can go back to bull riding. Or worse, I may never go back at all. The moment that I landed neck first on the ground, I knew I was doomed. There was nothing I could do as I fell down in an awkward position. Barbosa's career was hanging by a thread that day. It wasn't a gory scene. No blood, no broken bones sticking out. But that fall left a quiet kind of damage. One that lingers long after the crowd goes home. Even though Ruben Barbosa's neck sprain was terrifying, it didn't end with him being stomped on. That's what happened to Valderan de Oliveira at number 1. He was bucked off and then was stomped on by Main Event. And what made it worse was that it happened right after an 8-second ride. He did everything right. He stayed on, heard the buzzer, and for a moment he was riding high. Then it went south.
But he stayed on his bulls, and that's important.
Main Event kicked again just as Oliveira hit the dirt. The timing couldn't have been worse. Oliveira never stood a chance. One of the bull's back legs came down, hard, straight onto him. Medics sprinted in and every eye was on Oliveira, flat on his back, unresponsive. It felt like forever before we even saw the stretcher. From the moment the bull bucked me off, it immediately went lights out for me. I did not know what happened next. The next thing I knew was that I was already in the hospital bed. That wreck was so scary because I literally did not know what happened next. It's one thing to fall off a bull, it's another to survive a stomp from one. You see, bull riding isn't as easy as some people think. Riders who've been through brutal wrecks will tell you that most of the time, the ride is packed with terrifying moments.